Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new, just launched Huawei Nova 9 SE that just landed here in Malaysia. Now in terms of the pricing, it is actually priced quite attractive. It is RM1099, and if you're in other regions in the world, that is approximately $250. So definitely this is one of the more budget or affordable kind of device that's just being launched by Huawei. Now what's this device all about? Is this something that you should actually consider? Let's find out. Now, before we go into the video, of course, like I mentioned 1,000 times, if you just want to support content like this, if you like content like this, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel. That would be super much appreciated. Let's begin. All right, so for the 1,099 ringgit, what do you actually get? First thing, let's talk a little bit about the design. Well, as you can see from the design of the device, mine is in this very shiny, interesting colorway. I kind of like it. It's quite nice, but it's actually very flashy. And again, if you are a guy, you might want to choose the one that is like black. But if you like fancy stuff like this, you might want to consider this as well. One thing I did notice here is that there is actually a lot of fingerprints that gets captured on the back, naturally because it is a mirror kind of finish, but it actually looks quite good. What I like about it is that we have these curved edges on the sides that makes it very easy to hold with one hand. And in terms of the camera cutout on the top left corner, it still consists of Huawei's design language and all that. As soon as you see this kind of camera cutout, you know it's a Huawei device. So that's good. One thing I have to point out though is that the camera cutout does stick out quite a fair bit. So some of you guys might not like it because it might get wobbly on the table. So that's just something that I want to mention. Now, if you move the device to the bottom, this is where you can see your Type-C port. You also get your single firing speaker, no stereo speakers here. And of course, at the top, you do get your SIM card tray. Moving on to the right, you have your volume rocker together with your fingerprint scanner and locks button. So that's what you get all around. I think the sides here are made of aluminum. I'm not really sure about that, but it surely feels like that. Overall, it feels quite premium in hand, although it is coming in at a slightly more affordable price range. Now, done with the design, I think it is very subjective. You decide what you actually like. Me personally, I think it's fine. It works well. Apart from that, like I said, flipping the device to the front, we do have a very interesting display. Now, this is one of the slimmest kind of bezels I'm seeing on the sides all around. We do get a tiny bit of chin at the bottom, but I think that is kind of forgivable considering we have those super slim bezels on the sides and on the top. I kind of like it, and I think it's really good to see this kind of design on a more affordable device. In terms of the display itself, the numbers that you need to know here is that it's a 6.7-inch display, it's an LCD display, it has 90 Hz refresh rate, and of course it is a 1080p resolution display. So overall, I would say that for this kind of pricing, it is alright. I noticed that brightness levels was very sufficient even though I'm outdoors under the sun. And apart from that, it's a fairly large display at 6.78 inches. I can still hold it with one hand and operate it quite easily, but some of you guys might find it a bit of a stretch. Apart from that, just browsing around, the device is very smooth. You have this 90 Hz refresh rate that I mentioned, so everything is actually quite smooth. The LCD colors are also quite great. If you have used a previous Huawei device, you know that Huawei makes awesome LCD displays. Sometimes they do look a bit like AMOLED displays because the colors and the contrast are actually quite good. So yeah, if you're looking for a great display, you can expect it on the Huawei Nova 9 SE. Now, moving on to the next point, Huawei is actually, really want to focus on that cameras at the back. So at the back, we do have a quad camera setup. Now, this is led by a main 108 megapixel main sensor. You also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 2 megapixel depth, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. Now, the focus here is really on the 108 megapixel main sensor, which Huawei says, it's just better than the competition for phones even higher priced than this device. Well, I will let you be the judge of that because I've took quite a fair bit of photos that I would like to share with you. So right now, you should be able to see on your screens all the kind of photos that I was able to take during the day. I do have a couple of ultra wide shots here as well, and a couple of night mode shots as well. Now, based on my personal opinion, I find that the pictures here look a bit alright. It's not to say like super flagship level or that kind of thing. There's enough detail, contrast levels looks alright. In terms of how natural the colors look, I found that the colors on the Huawei Nova 9 SE tend to oversaturate a couple of times. So people like you, if you like pictures that just pop in terms of the colors, you might like the Huawei Nova 9 SE kind of color reproduction. Now, it also has this special function of vlogging where you are able to activate both camera sensors from the front and at the back so people can see what you're doing, where you're walking and all that. So I will show you a very quick clip now that I took when I was back in my old school, so you can roughly see how the stabilization works on the Huawei Nova 9 SE. I'm literally speaking about an arm's length away from the camera, so just imagine the audio coming from there, right? It's a huge school, looks really beautiful. We have a very nice lake over there. A couple of ducks or geese, I think. But yeah, we also have a lot of crows here. So okay, I'm just going to walk straight ahead right down to the lake. So normal speeds, I guess. Let's just try and go down. This is just to test it out. We've got a little guy there, you know, just chilling and checking out the weather. Very nice stuff here. Now moving on, let's talk a little bit about the processor, what's powering it, and of course the battery life, because that's very important. So we're going to start off with the power that we do have in this guy. Now we do have a Snapdragon 680 4G. Bear in mind that it is still 4G here. Somehow Huawei isn't able to get 5G on their devices, so not too sure about that. Now moving on, this phone itself, operating it is, is alright. It's not the fastest for sure. It's running on EMUI. Of course, if you have a Huawei laptop or other Huawei devices, you can use the Huawei share to get files across very easily and seamlessly. I should also point out that there are quite a fair bit of apps being added to the Huawei app gallery, so that is increasing day by day as well. For me, I think based on a day-to-day basis, just doing some social media and browsing the internet, playing a couple of games, everything will work pretty alright. It's not the fastest, but again, at the price, you can't really expect like super fast kind of performance. So if you are not a heavy user, I think the Huawei Nova 9 SE might actually suit you just fine. Now, in terms of the battery life, we do not have a huge battery in here, although it is quite slim. We do have a 4000 mAh battery, but the good news here is that we have a 66-watt charger in the box. It's sitting right here. And this charger is actually quite fast. Apparently, it's able to charge the device from 0 to 100% in just 36 minutes. Again, very kind of good charging speeds there. If you are on a rush, you can also do like 60% in just 15 minutes or so. Again, quite good charging speeds there with the Huawei Nova 9 SE. Now, overall, what do I think of the Huawei Nova 9 SE? Personally, I think Huawei is giving us a very decent smartphone at the price of just RM1099. You do have that very fancy, nice display with those very slim bezels. You have a quite nice design as well, paired with the decent cameras at the back. Apart from that, if you're looking for maximum power, obviously you will not get that here. You have to manage your expectations and know what you are buying. But overall, yeah, I think it is quite alright for the price. Apart from that, I believe Huawei is also throwing a couple of free gifts together with the purchase, worth up to 560 ringgit or so. Apparently, there is a Bluetooth earpiece. There is also a couple of stuff from the Huawei app gallery and stuff. So if you are planning to buy one, you can check out the links down below. I'll leave a link there so you know what you are getting. Again, this is what I can tell you about the Huawei Nova 9 SE in this very quick, short video about the device itself. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Of course, if you want to stay tuned to more cool tech, all the latest tech happening in Malaysia, don't forget to like this video and sub to the channel, and I definitely hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe, everybody. Bye!